Hello and welcome, Pisces. This is going to be a zodiac specific reading, as you can tell from the title. It's been a little while since we've gotten everybody's zodiac energies, and I'm pretty excited about this series. If you have been subscribed, you might have seen the readings coming up, and for whatever reason, the last three have decided to be the three water signs, interestingly enough. So, telling you about this reading, we've got a number of what I did was I took a number of note cards, blank note cards, and I wrote the various zodiac symbols on the back of each one, and then blindly mixed them all up, took them one by one, and meditated on the energies, wrote down some impressions and channeled messages on the note card, then laid them out across the desk, took a number of various decks that I wanted to use in this series, and I started shuffling them blindly and setting them on the piles as I was called to do. And so I did not look at any of the energies prior to reading or recording the energies with the viewers, except for Taurus energy. I got cut off and had to redo the video, so I had a little insight into that one, which ended up being quite divine as well. So then I started taking the stacks one by one as I was called to who needs the next one, which pile is next. And so it just so happened that the three water signs were last. And you are second to last, Pisces. In this case, you're used to being last in the zodiac. And patience is appreciated. Let's go ahead and I'll show you first your note card energy. Then we have a Tao Te Ching reading. Then we have an Art of War card. We've got a couple of our oracle cards, the mixed shamanic deck. Then we move into some an Akashic tarot, a couple cards from there, some other tarot cards, and then we'll be finishing up with the Whispers of the Ocean Oracle. So without further ado, let's give you a peek at your energy. So here is my messy handwriting on there. If you want to screenshot and then flip that image and go ahead and meditate on these on your own time, that will probably give you a lot more insight. So let us see what's going on with this energy. I'm going to do my best not to give too many interpretations and just let these phrases speak to the reading, and we'll see the synchronicities as they unveil throughout the reading. So we start out with a topless, sunbathing mermaid on a rock, head tilted back. There's a glow. Twinkling diamonds dance on the watery surface. 10 of Pentacles. Unlimited potential unlocked. Magical manifesto. More to come. Come up for air, specifically air underlined. Potentially fresh perspective, new awareness. Oh, fresh perspective is written next. And then emotional depths. Attainment and attachment, balanced with attitude and altruism. Oh, okay. Attainment and attachment, balanced with attitude and altruism. I see. Relax, recharge, being near water, camping, hiking. A place to show magic, a place where you can show magic, perhaps. Acceptance of the true self, soul radiance, identity, pocket realm, secret place, place in quotation marks could be astral, the law of attraction, bask in the outcome, calling desired timeline forward, shed old layers, in one's element, leverage personal skills, and unveiling. Well, that's really awesome energy there. It's as if you're finding a spot, whether in your mind's eye or in reality, or even moving literally in your life, moving job, relationship, or circumstance, perspective, even because that one's in here, that fresh perspective. So you're taking a moment to really appreciate this moment, this pocket realm. That's very interesting. So number 2 is your Tao Te Ching. When people see some things as beautiful and then other things become ugly. When people see some things as good, other things become bad. Being and non-being create each other. Difficult and easy support each other. Long and short define each other. High and low depend on each other. Before and after follow each other. Therefore, the master acts without doing anything and teaches without saying anything. Things arise and she lets them come. Things disappear and she lets them go. She has but doesn't possess, acts but doesn't expect. When her work is done, she forgets it. That is why it lasts forever. Very nice. So I don't know if you are dealing with a situation of before and after and taking in and really appreciating the shifting of chapters, or whether you're really working to overcome some duality, whether this is in a situation, work, home, within, in relationships. Interesting. Okay, you get this speaking in public. The prospect of speaking in public can be terrifying. However, it's a great skill to develop. For Sun Tzu, the enemy of the public speaker could be lack of a point, mumbling, reading your speech, and making too much of your mistakes. Know yourself means know your material, relax, be confident, dress right, sober up, practice, and be yourself. So that's interesting, because I was noticing too, as I was reading the Tao Te Ching message, I was noticing how my inflection was off, and I'm like, oh, they're not going to understand this because I just paused in the wrong place in the sentence. And so then I tried to make it part of the dance, like when you slip and stumble. And then there was also there was something else too, with feeling like I should have known it or read further ahead and then read it out loud. But I like to just go and get going. And so maybe you're anxious or impatient to really go forward with something, or maybe you're caught off guard and the speaking in public is just something that you didn't know what was going to be asked, like the impromptu something. Um, but yeah, so, and maybe speaking in public is something that you do quite regularly, but something kind of taking you off guard here. Uh, Reading your speech also. Yeah, like when I was reading, it's like somebody who doesn't know the material and they're reading somebody else's information. It's like who the greatest orators are those who really understand the objective of the speech. It's not only the material that's being conveyed, it's like the ability to reach people where they're at and say, why do you care about what's about to come out in this reading or in this public speech or whatever, or if you need to speak with a group to gain buy-in, to market your skills or your offerings. These are things that require us to become accustomed to how to reach across the great divide of what I want and I'm trying to gain buy-in from you, and what you are seeking and what you are willing to get on board with. So let's see what Sun Tzu said. If you know the enemy and know yourself, your victory will not stand in doubt. If you know heaven and know earth, you may make your victory complete. Interesting. So I think that what we're talking about with this speaking in public, it seems to be that you're taking this moment in between chapters, right? You're kind of releasing, you're seeing where you've been and appreciating this moment here. But there's something more here that you're calling in, because during this moment you may be manifesting something, utilizing your magic in this pocket realm here in your secret place, and using the law of attraction to bask in what the outcome would feel like. Maybe, let's say, for an example, you want a new car, and you in your meditation are imagining yourself smelling the smell of the fresh new car smell, and how the dash is oriented, and what it feels like to know that you have a safe vehicle, something that is mechanically sound, that is clean and crisp and will get you where you want to go. How does that feel? What does it look like? What color is it? As specific as feels good. And so this could be something different as well. Like it says, calling in your desired timeline, calling it forward for yourself. So this speaking in public, maybe you need to gain buy-in for your offerings, or to reveal a little bit of your magical capacity, or even if it's unbeknownst to others, how do you use your charisma, and which skills are good things that you have? Like maybe maybe you're somebody that has a clear and powerful voice, so in that case you can gain people's attention, but then maybe you need to use inflection to also soften in between, so then the person is like, they might be blown back for a minute, but then they kind of have to lean in to hear the quieter spots. There's all these different things that people can utilize as their tools, or to create mystery and charisma, the words that you choose, the pictures that you paint, and people can identify with one thing or another, So let's keep going here. Okay, you've got 3 cards from the archetype deck. Most people did not get 3. You have the card of the self, 29. Isn't that gorgeous? This to me seems like a chakra activation, the higher heart activation, with that golden light at the right above the heart space, as it appears to me in the card. And it's like being able to, the word broadcast keeps coming up during this series. And it's like being able to show yourself, being able to bask in that glow, in that the twinkling diamonds dancing on the water's surface. It's like, here you are, being able to encounter the magic all around you and tap into that and say, this is a part of me. Especially as Pisces, that should come easier to you than some other signs if you're a more mystic Pisces, and chances are if you're watching this channel you are. And so being able to witness the glory and the beauty of the surroundings, and just say, this peace, this miracle, this glory, this beauty, I said that already, these twinkling diamonds, they are part of the abundance that is this moment for me. That water is an extension of my peace and clarity. And then we have 2 very interesting cards coming up together. We have 63 and 58, and it's the venom and the nectar. So this is interesting. It's telling me a couple things. This could be the projections from others, and in the light of public speaking, like how we come across, what are our strengths, and if we just leverage our strengths 100%, it could come across as overbearing too much. It could fail to inspire because there's no relief from the intensity, so to speak. But then the nectar is the ability to utilize one to the other. Remember, we're talking a bit about this duality thinking, the before and the after, the dealing with situations that were toxic, and then the resulting nectar. It's like the venom and the anti-venom, or let's say any type of medicine can sometimes become a poison depending on the dose. And so all things in balance. And I think within the self, since we're talking about speaking in public, we're actually we're talking about the thought of maybe your shadow and light aspects, because we're with the self coming first, and then nectar and venom. It's telling a story about when you see some aspects of yourself or your environment as beautiful, then other things in contrast become ugly. And some types of behaviors or aspects of your personality as being too much, then it's like constantly back and forth, like using the inflection, using the timing, and taking the pause. It's like maybe you are looking at cleaning up your inner self speak and the way that you believe in yourself, having the magnetic attraction of then what others think of you. If you think, oh, I'm too much, people can't take me full tilt, I better water myself down, then maybe it's your own judgment creating the opportunity for others to broadcast this or mirror this back to you. So somebody else got in their reading something about the advice to water themselves down because of their intensity in the moment. And I hate giving that advice, because I think authenticity is to broadcast truly, but sometimes it's also about connection. And so, yeah, tangent over. Let's move on and see what's next. So we have ready but waiting. Look at this dove in the hand. She perhaps was shrouded in this muddy disclarity here. It's almost like that violet brown energy mixing with these little chakra energies here. It's as though she's kind of been encapsulating herself, holding herself back, perhaps. And your opposite sign, being Virgo, is known for that. Pisces can also be quite a, I want to say disembodied in the moment. Not all, but it's kind of like with the dove in the hand, what's really stepping forward for me is there's all these birds in the hair too. It's talking to me about having a big message to convey and to share with others, but having the self-judgment of not being willing and able to have the full impact that you would have if you were to believe fully in yourself and utilize your strengths and weaknesses to your advantage, to somehow create the outcome that you desire. So some type of success is really ready for you, waiting for you. So that law of attraction, trust that your future is calling you forward as you are calling it to you. Ooh, vanishing mirror, ego sublimation. Yes, what is it? It's like that broadcast vibrational signal that says, yes, this is it's like that the opera singer that shatters glass with the voice. It's like shattering expectations, breaking through a glass ceiling. It can be other people doubting you, maybe from different individuals having said things to you that were somewhat fostering some type of inner doubt about your ability to be well received or to do this or to deliver this message. And so I see you really breaking through limitations here and surprising yourself. And didn't we just have the 58? This is also 58. So maybe not 55, 60. Oh, it's the nectar and ego sublimation. It's like letting your goodness flow instead of letting somebody say, oh, well, that was a terrible job. You're like, I was quite proud of myself. I didn't have huge expectations. I'm a beginner, or maybe not, or whatever. And just kind of saying those things that takes your power back from judgment and reaffirms that we're all just people here. I mean, it might not seem fantastic to one of the so-called haters, but somebody else in the audience might have been like, wow, that blew my hair back. So listen to your supporters, and don't ignore the ones that want to give their criticism, because some of it can be constructive, even if it's to reinforce the idea that they're not, oh geez, I just heard, you're not the boss of me, you're not the judge of me. So yeah, this kind of inner child idea here, where it's like, yeah, I'm not going to let you rain on my parade. I got up there and did it. Let's see the next 5 people jump up there and give their million likes TED Talks impromptu and see how everybody else does. It's not about that. It's not about, you know, tit for tat type stuff, but it's about, developing yourself and being proud of the extent that you've taken this deep dive into something, because public speaking can be terrifying, even if you're good at it, even if you are practiced at it. Stand in front of a new group of people that you don't know, or like the comedian, they've got this material everybody loves, they go into this one specific place, and unbeknownst to them, everybody there has some kind of something that is not picking up on the jokes, and it's the deadpan audience, and it's there's a word for that, I'm sure you know it. But anyways, it's like, it's going further to really stretch yourself and to dive deep into your waters and to really cleanse the venom with the anti-venom of the nectar. Like, what do you listen to? What do you allow to take up residence in your body? Maybe you're needing to detox from some type of substance, or poor diet, but it doesn't have to be physical. It can absolutely be energetic and psychological here, because the deep diver really dives into a task. One of the things too, not to share too much about myself, but as just one other example, if you're not well practiced or if you're looking for new skills, one of the things I do is, if I have a number of statements that are stepping forward that I want to impress upon people, or if I have some objectives, like I want to inspire individuals, I want to show them the value of their health or something like this, I might put a couple of statements down for objectives. And then I might say, what are some of the key ideas that I want to convey? I write those all out. And then as I go through, I might start just kind of in the middle sometimes. I just do it in flow state as much as possible. And then I find that I'm over explaining or something, which is my thing. You might have a different thing that you do. Maybe you use run-on statements or fragments or something like this, or too many questions or too many I am statements. Then you go back through and then you kind of clean that up. You simplify and you create concise idea groupings, and then you organize them into paragraphs, and you orient which order has to come first or second. Is there a way to insert a relatable comment, such as, oh, blah blah blah, all you have to do is just clean up your act, as if it's that easy, ha 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 type of a thing, right? And then it becomes like, people are like, oh yeah, the pressure's off, yeah. Because it's ridiculous to say, just do this, just do that, give somebody the instructions like I'm doing to you now. It's like taking something and then making it your own. Instead of reading somebody else's material, we think, well, I want to deliver that material, but what's my objective? What's this group going to gain out of it? What's how do I make it relevant for the crowd? And it seems like you're really doing something incredible in regards to that. And I just had a huge hit as I see this next card. This one has been challenging for me in the past. This sun card, I wondered why it looked so much like an Egyptian sphinx type energy in the sun. And if you have looked at any of the occult information about that, um, they talk about how the sphinx with the body of a lion, face of a man, and then even the eye makeup and such, they were talking about it potentially being the true face of God. Take that as you will. Just the messenger. I saw something about this just the other day when the Taurus reading got canceled in the center, and it was showing so many different things. So if that's something you want to look into, it's very interesting content talking about that the sun is kind of like in conjunction with the pyramids, that there's a way that this is like the portal, the Stargate portal. So this sun energy, above and beyond that, the sun energy is all about getting out there and being radiant. And didn't we talk about Leo just a minute ago? Leo the lion, and here we've got this. The self is also a Leo energy. Where is Leo in your chart? So look at that information and see where it is that you have this urge to really express and be authentic and well received and respected and royal and popular and all of these things. The ego does have a healthy self pride that can be broadcast. And when we see the sun, it's the opportunity to get out there and to be the self. So with ego sublimation and the sun and this nectar and venom, it's like something about your public persona, the way that you are out in the world, perhaps coming under question with yourself. It's like identity was on here as well as 10 of Pentacles. And so the twinkling diamonds dancing on the watery surface, it's like I'm seeing that almost as the water as an extension of you. It's like you have all of these sparkly bits about you, and it's like abundance is in your aura already. It's twinkling and dancing all around you. And as soon as easy as pie, right? As you begin to really identify these things within your aura, you really can broadcast them in a much more charismatic way and gain the recognition and kind of like to fund our ambitions. I'm hearing whatever that means. So let's get into your Akashic Tarot. We've got 3 cards here. The first being the 8 of Keys, the Master Artisan. And it looks like we have a maker here and some type of a boss, several masculines appearing to be working in this environment here. So I don't know if you're working with a group or working by yourself or if this is symbolic, but keys, interestingly, in this deck, I do believe it is the earth sign of Pentacles or diamonds, if you will. And it talks about our work, our sacred work or otherwise, what we put our work into and what we put our chi and our kundalini efforts into, whether it's our voice, which of course it is, and our perspectives, and our hands and the work that we do here. And the master artisan with the sun and the ego, it's like being able to release the expectation of abundance and so therefore be fulfilled and have the abundance of the attitude of gratitude. It's that attainment and attachment to the outcome, perhaps balanced with the attitude of gratitude and altruism of like, why do I do this sacred work? To be part of the flow of life and beauty and grace and wisdom. And so you are really mastering your craft by diving deep into something and sharing it with others. Whew, 7 of Scrolls. Scrolls being the air suit of knowledge, the swords, intricacies, and industry. Very interesting. It appears this individual is a builder, building some type of shrine, temple, church, something along those lines. And then thirdly, we have master number 13. The Buddha prepares. Look at all these individuals, perhaps not physically near each other, but that's you, this Buddha or your mermaid self, basking in the glow, perhaps of the sun that we have here, in the glow of what is to come, of your budding artistry, your deep dive. It's like you're building on previous lives where you have learned how to build, how to create niche and nuance, and to capitalize on those. Running a little shy on time, so we're going to get a little rushed here. We have this page of acorns, discovery and enthusiasm with that spider monkey. So the pages are all messengers, and discovery and enthusiasm is like getting all fired up and ready to convey something. You're doing your research, you're putting some things together. We have the seal with the Queen of Shells, Queen of Water or Cups, peace, compassion, that basking in the sun coming through, being able to tap into the love. And then you get 4 of the cat people tarot here. Some people got cat people, others got the Celtic dragon. You get 3 of Pentacles, and it looks like somebody, maybe that boss energy, kind of dictating and asking you to juggle while balancing on this ball. That cat is not very comfortable dancing on this ball for this individual who's just like, go, go, go. So somebody's cracking a whip here and saying some things that have you kind of really breaking through something. 4 of Cups, disappointment and loss, and feeling like something hasn't quite given the outcome. So this could be, you in your previous image of self, but here we have the King of Wands, getting back into your mojo and self-mastery of your sun and your ego. And that, look at that cat is now like purring and saying, oh, this is what I needed, and he's still in the dark a bit, but his lantern is glowing. He's got orbs around him. He's got the diamonds, the cosmic stars twinkling in the background here. And then lastly, in this deck, we have the Hermit card, your opposite, Virgo. So this is telling you to kind of take your time to retreat into that darkness and look at the shadow and light. And lastly, your Whispers of the Ocean here. Interesting. We've got this shark energy, persistent drive, number 11. See what you desire and move towards that goal. It's time to zero in on your purpose. Use your intuition and instincts to guide you for the optimal outcome. Take good care of yourself. You've got great things to come. You're just pushing through this belief in yourself because you've already been doing it. You're a high achiever and you've got a lot to look forward to. So if you're compelled, please do consider like, share, subscribe, comment below. Let me know.